You've been coming to inaugurals here in Washington, right up there,
Right.
Going back to the Reagan years. Before we talk about those Democrats who are skipping, just talk about what a great moment in America's history every 4 years this is.
Oh, yeah, look, it's always extraordinary. I mean, Felicity and I are looking forward to tomorrow, although we hope it doesn't rain. But it's still, you're at a moment when the nation is transferring power peacefully, unlike no other country has done this for as long as we have. You have all of this sense of the national establishment coming together, despite an occasional idiot. And you are in a situation where there's always optimism. I mean, it doesn't matter which team wins. We are a naturally optimistic country. So I went to 2 Obama inaugurals, feeling positive about the future. I went to Clinton inaugurals. But at the same time, I think for me, the very first inaugural with Ronald Reagan in '80 was the most amazing, and both because his speech is so extraordinary. But the day started cloudy, and Jimmy Carter got up to speak and said goodbye. And as Reagan stood up, it was like Cecil B. DeMille. As Reagan stood up,
here comes
clouds
the sun.
Parted, the sun came in, the sky was blue, and then we began to hear whispering among ourselves that the hostages had left Iranian airspace. So you had this electrifying sense that the Gipper had already made a difference. And then his speech was tremendous. I talked to somebody last night who'd gone back and read first inaugurals and said Reagan's 1980 speech is just unbelievable.
What do you think he would say about these congressmen and women that are boycotting?
That they're childish and silly. That the inauguration's not about Republicans. It's not about Donald Trump. The inauguration's about America. Why would you abandon America? Why, if you're a member of Congress, if you work that hard to get to be part of the system.
Yeah, but Newt, they're trying to score political points.
Yeah, but all they're doing is making themselves look small and silly.
Absolutely.
I mean, their left loves them. Right. But as we used to learn the hard way, you can have your partisans love you for a long time and stay in the minority.
You know what's interesting is, by reports, and you would know better, Donald Trump is looking at Reagan's speech, looking at JFK's speech. He wants to make it about 20 to 30 minutes, and he actually wants to make it not about him, about the country. And he wrote the first draft himself.
I believe that. I've watched him work before. He has frankly, even when other people write drafts, he writes the final speeches. He has a very strong sense of who he is and what his mission in history is. And he also has, frankly, a better sense of how to talk with the American people than any Republican since Reagan. So why would you turn to some speechwriter who doesn't understand it as well as you do?
Even though Steve Miller does know him extremely well.
Steve Miller knows Trump very, very well, and Miller's playing a key role in this. I mean, it's not like Trump's hiding somewhere writing it. But I think the notion that it is a Trump-directed speech, that it's he understands this is his first really big moment in history to define who he is in the context of America, and in the process to help Americans define their future.
Right. Your first big moment in history was when the Republicans were swept back into power. You were Speaker of the House, contract with America, for America. What's the #1 thing, given your history on day one, that Donald Trump could start doing tomorrow?
Well, I think he's made the decision to not start repealing things until Monday.
Maybe a couple, maybe 4 or 5 tomorrow.
Well, he might. I mean, I think there are a lot of things he could do tomorrow that begin to shift the whole system. And I think, for example, there's a very, very dangerous decision being made today by the Energy Commission on how we protect ourselves from electromagnetic pulses. It's designed as stupidly and as destructively as possible.
What do you mean? Why?
It's designed to get the energy companies to invest in stopping the lowest grade kind of problem, which is a solar flare or a problem from space.
Those happen occasionally.
They happen occasionally, and we should protect them. In 1859, if that happened again, it would knock out a huge part of our system. But it's the easiest thing to stop. What you really have to worry about are man-made pulses probably by nuclear weapons, maybe by the North Koreans, the Chinese, you name it. And to get the power companies going the wrong way, making the wrong investment, means when you get around to having a Trump in office saying, hey, guys, we need to really worry about practical, immediate problems, they're going to say, wait a second. So if that's one of the things, if I were him, I would literally repeal late tomorrow.
I have a sense there's going to be a blinding amount, a dizzying amount of things coming down the pike between programs, changes, and executive orders. But real quick, I think I've talked to so many different people on the Trump staff, who are dealing with the Obama staff, and they say the cooperation is off the charts. It's fantastic, much like Bush to Obama, which is a great thing
That's a
for
good
America.
good thing for the country.
The other thing is also, with the fact that the Clinton initiative is laying off so many people just a few weeks after her nomination fell apart, does that back up almost everything people were saying about this Clinton Global Initiative?
Oh, you mean that there was, pay for play and that involved,
Access.
that involved
And it was her
access to power,
influence, yes.
and that they were trying to buy her influence? You think the fact that it all collapsed as soon as she lost would be a sign
It looks
that
like
maybe they weren't genuinely affectionate, that they didn't actually love her, they loved her power?
it kind of proves that it was actually going on.
Well, it does make you think that maybe it wasn't all being done out of a sense of goodness.
Mr. Speaker, do you have a message for Brian, who outed you on national television that you wear makeup?
On television?
No. My message, I've known Brian for many, many years. And my message is, at some point in your career, I will get even. You won't know which day, you won't know how it's going to happen, but I'm going to consult with Callista, and we're going to find a way to make you.
Someday.
If she saw that, I am in real trouble.
Yeah.
No, I'm in real trouble.
And unlike the 5-year-olds getting ready for kindergarten,
That's
you left
exactly-
your cape downstairs.